Alrighty, folks. I have been wrong a lot lately. In the last 24 hours, I was wrong about the rate cut. I thought the Fed should do 50 and they only did a quarter. But I even want to go back further. I was the guy saying in January of 2025, there will be no rate cuts. And suddenly I flipped to, you know what? We might have 2 or 3 rate cuts. We're going to talk about what I missed, what I saw, and what I changed. But before we do this, let's welcome Stephen Dow to the show. Stephen, why don't you go ahead and do that marketing spiel so we don't get in trouble?
Although we're very happily for Velocity Mortgage Capital, all the ideas and topics discussed on this channel, that of my own. So let's get it going.
Yeah. So when I think about my calls around the Fed this year and how they both have been wrong, for me, it all goes back to the job market. I don't know where it goes for you, but the job market, the data I was given, right? The data we were all given.
Right.
And I think June is the most appealing example of this. That June was once reported as 157,000 jobs created, which is a strong number above replacement. It's real growth.
Right.
And now that's been revised down to negative, meaning we lost jobs in June to negative 13 or 17 or something like that. And it was that drastic change, let alone the 2 monster revisions. We had an 811,000 jobs disappear,
right,
only to be told, hold my beer.
Right.
Now we got 911 that disappeared. So 1.7.
Yeah, the previous year.
818.
Yeah.
911. Yeah. So 1.7 million jobs that we thought we had, we didn't. They were fictitious. They were gone. They evaporated, never there. That's why I was wrong about the first one. And frankly, I think the Fed made a mistake not going 50 this time. But yeah, I just wanted, I love to celebrate, as you know, when I'm right.
Right.
But I don't mind taking the L's when I'm wrong. So I've been wrong about the Fed pretty much all year.
I think, I don't know if wrong would be the right word, as I think that, your statement had to be adjusted because of new information. At the time that you made that comment, that's all the information that was privy. Because if you would have known that we were going to be seeing a huge revision, by the mid this year, you probably would have I think that's going to be putting some pressure on the Fed to probably make some moves. But I mean, we're already gauging what the Fed's going to do as of the end of business day today. We're actually dropping our rates by 0.5%.
Wow. So that I don't think people realize how big a deal that is, right? Velocity Mortgage, again, publicly traded company. You and I've talked privately. Your rates have been flat. Call it a year?
Almost the whole year. Last time we changed rates was last in December, and that was to lower.
So about a year. Just call it. Let's call it 10 months. 10
okay.
Months. And this is really funny. So for 10 months, it was flat. Now, at the end of the day, you'll be lowering rates. You said a half. You said
0.5%. Half. That's a big jump.
That's a monster jump for a company that has been, flat. Because again, you're not conventional. You're not changing daily. You're not changing quarterly.
Well, when those new, I think, economic figures started coming out as far as jobs and things of that nature, with that not being as strong, because I think that's what Powell kind of stood on for the longest as far as growth and everything else, like the expansion of businesses, based on the growth of the employment sector and everything else, and you're like, yeah, not so much.
So this ought to be fun. So if you can't answer this stuff because it gets you in trouble, don't answer it.
Right.
But as an outsider who's been studying housing and mortgage for 30 years, understanding Velocity at least a little bit better than the average person. When I think about your executives who are rock stars, right? They've managed you guys through the pandemic. I mean, they're amazing at what they do, right?
Super.
So now I'm trying to be a fly on the wall in the boardroom where the decision is, guys, we have to lower rates 50 basis points, a half. My guess of what these rock stars are seeing is not only the Fed's cutting, that's a given, but they see a weakening economy and they want to get ahead of it. That's what they're doing. They are getting ahead of a weakening economy, in my opinion.
Right.
What do you think? Am I close, or if you can't?
Man, I mean, potentially. There's so many factors when it comes to our business, though, because again, it's slightly different. We're not like selling to Fannie Freddie. You know what I mean? It's more Wall Street. And I think Wall Street, I can't speak too much. We had a really good,
you personally were on pace to have a record year. You
Oh,
the
still am.
individual.
None of the
Oh
company
yeah,
by far. Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah,
But I'm talking about, our
yeah,
business model where, we
yeah,
securitize and stuff like
yeah.
that. The last securitization went very, very well. It was a
So that's
large
yeah. So you're getting more and more. So
Wall Street's loving our stuff
that's
and it's
exactly right.
performing very well.
And they
And
want more of it. They're
they
telling
want a
you they
lot of
want
it.
more. So
This
you
last time was
lower
our
rates to
biggest.
feed the
Uh-huh.
beast.
Uh-huh. Wall Street's loving it. Uh-huh. The paper is
Got it.
performing. And
Yep.
so I think just to make it, I don't know about more competitive, but I think, like you said,
Just to entice. Yeah.
yes, but also to
Yeah.
hedge because again, my team that I've been able to kind of, see is that they don't look at right now, they look at 10 steps down the road at least, you know what I mean? They're playing chess when everybody's playing
Yeah.
checkers because we've been able to kind of, weather a lot of these storms, We're still
Yeah.
open, been around for
Oh
two
yeah.
decades
Yeah.
now.
You're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting. So again, it's that actually you brought up an excellent point that I missed in the beginning.
Mm.
Wall Street, again, your customer, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
producing a product called a
Mm-hmm.
securitization that's being bought by Wall Street.
Right.
What they're basically saying is we want more.
Right.
And how do you get more? You make it a little cheaper on the front end so the pipeline gets fuller. You keep doing what you're doing. You process more loans. You feed the beast.
Oh yeah.
That's what's happening.
Oh,
I
yeah.
get it. I get it. And again, you probably had to lower rates because again, you don't really compete with conventional. I'm not saying you do,
Mm-hmm.
but the spread was widening out,
Correct.
right? It just was.
Right.
And now it doesn't look as wide.
Mm-mm. No, I mean, as of, like I said,
Yeah.
5 o'clock today,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna look
In
a lot
about
better.
6 hours or 8 hours or whatever it is.
Right. But give me a call now. We don't have to, submit till
Yeah.
tomorrow.
We don't lock
so,
it till tomorrow.
yeah. So, but no, great news for me because again, on record pace, and now with this
Yeah.
little bit of help,
Little,
hey, we're doing the same
boost.
thing, just lower.
Yeah, exactly. We do all the same thing. Make sense, lender.
Yeah. Yesterday,
You know,
what I was quoting you. Yeah. Today, it's 0.5% lower. So
yeah. You like me now?
you're gonna love me tomorrow. Yep.
Exactly. Well,
But,
at the end of the day, I love the fact that you and Velocity keep coming back. The experience, it does. As an outsider looking in, and again, knowing Velocity, better than the average person,
mhm.
it's like this makes total sense. The paper's performing. Wall Street likes the asset, likes the return, and they're saying, "Give me more." And your guys are like, "All right, let's get the pipeline going. Let's go down
Turn
a
on the
half."
faucet a little bit more. Yeah. Open it up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if somebody want to get a part of this, what do they do?
Email is going to be the best. It would be SDAO or SDAO at velocitymortgage.com. In the subject line, please put the acronym ORAAT to make it past the firewall. Body the email, maybe a brief description, what you're looking for. Address is going to be super helpful. At least city and state of where you're looking to, get financing in to make sure I lend there. Mid FICO score, best phone number to reach you at, and typically 48 hours or so, I should be in touch.
Folks, at the end of the day, if you are in the business of buying homes, you need to have at least a plan B lender. If you can't go conventional, maybe a self-employed person, maybe bad credit, maybe no credit, maybe 50, 40, 10. They do what they do and they do it well. They've helped me a couple of different times. Stephen Dow, again, email is on the screen. SDAO, DAO at velocitymortgage.com. You're amazing, man. Take care.
Thanks, Mike. You too, buddy. Have a good weekend.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.